The consensus on Twitter is that I could have done a slightly better job preparing my viewers, followers, and community of a dip. So although on a mid macro and macro scale, I am bullish, I want to do my part in fully preparing you for the event that shit gets real to the downside. Are you ready? Let's dive in. All right, Verasity folks, take this time. Let me zoom in. You need to draw these boxes on your chart. In order to do so, I have already given you the exact levels. So take your time, pause this video, draw these in your box. I will explain them here in a minute. Take the time and do it now. All right, so bear market capitulation. This box will come into play if Bitcoin gets an 80% drop. What that would look like on Bitcoin is this. Bitcoin would hit somewhere between $13,000 to $20,000 on a capitulation. So before I flip back to VRA, the bleed box would align with Bitcoin getting down to 30K, but generally bouncing between there and 45K. And the happy box would be our current range, somewhere between the low 60s and the mid low 40s is the happy box. So refer to these levels for the rest of this Verasity video. You hear? You heard? All right, let's flip back to Verasity. So now let's take a measurement of from wick high down to the end of the bleed box, how much you would be looking at. And then we're going to take it. So that is a 90% drop. That is for altcoins about right. If you have done some multi 10,000+% gain, it's 20,000% increase. A 90% dip is honestly, that's not very much for altcoins if you've gone up that far and Bitcoin really does poorly. So 90%, I know you feel that Verasity to the moon and everything, but trust me, if it went up that high, it can easily go that low. And if Bitcoin capitulates down to 20K, Verasity is going to hit this box. It is not a question. It is not a question. So I don't want to say it's a factual statement because we haven't seen it happen, but it's a highly probable statement. Let me be very specific with what I'm saying. It's an if-then statement, okay? If BTC 20K, then Verasity in this box. So don't come on my channel saying, like, you said this box. No. So I sold all my Verasity. No, I said in an if-then statement, if BTC sub 20, then Verasity in this box. Am I being very clear? All right. So from current price down to the bottom of the yellow box is a 75% drop from current price. And I know it's hard to believe, but if Bitcoin goes down to 30K and it ranges, right? It doesn't just wick and bounce in V-shaped recovery. This background's a little annoying. And not just V-shaped recovery, but ranges, which means altcoins are going to bleed. Verasity's going to go in that box of Bitcoin ranges in between 45 and 30K. All right. And that could do it for 2 years. It could be a long time, folks. Like, I need you to wrap so again, y'all said I didn't prepare you for this. So I don't think this stuff's going to happen. I'm a little bit more bullish. I think late January or something, I think Bitcoin should be charging up towards the high 60s and breaking 70 roughly, is my guesstimate, or slightly sooner. But, I didn't prepare everybody well enough, and I'm glad I took that poll. I got raw feedback. So I'm simply preparing you for what could happen. I am not saying that this is going to happen. So what we're going to do next in this chart, check this out, is I'm going to show you a key sign on Verasity for when you can just say, hey, I'm looking to buy more Verasity. Now's probably not a horrible time to do so. I'm getting ready to show you that. However, go ahead and flip your phones or get flipped off. You can't hit the like button if you haven't flipped your phone vertically. So take your phone from horizontal with the maximized screen, flip it vertically. And also what's going to help me out even more, if you leave me a quick comment down below, it could be the most random thing possible so that we can confuse the hell out of new viewers to this channel. They imagine them scrolling down saying, what the hell is happening on this channel? I got to watch this information here. Let's be random and let's confuse the hell out of new viewers to this channel. And also make sure that you are following me on Twitter. My handle is @CosasVerdes, the number 2, @CosasVerdes, the number 2. Let's jump back into the charts and let's take a look at what specifically you need to be looking for in order for you to feel comfortable getting back into Verasity if you didn't aggressively buy the dip. Okay, so or when can you have a good sign of hope that, things are going to be good? So my general rule of thumb is this: weekly 10 EMA. After big drops, you need 3 weekly closures above the weekly 10 EMA, which is that red line. Now, Verasity doesn't hold to that rule very well, and here is why. Because it moves so volatilely. So it typically just closes one candle above and then flies, and you don't have three candles just sitting there, you know, chilling on this line anytime. It just gets above and goes. Maybe comes down, gets above, goes. So for that rule, which is my general number one rule, Verasity kind of says, you know what, screw you, rule. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to giddy up a little faster. So I want to be very clear that one of my most basic rules doesn't work very well on Verasity, but I can tell you though, if it flies above, it's going to retest it, but it could be a much higher low. So Verasity does, so it's kind of like BPRO price action. It has the history of being extremely volatile. So since that base rule isn't going to work, let's take a look at the daily 10. So what you can see here is, look, used it as, so its first attempt to get, actually resistance. First attempt to get above probably isn't going to work. Resistance. Second attempt to get above didn't work. Resistance. Third attempt to get above didn't work. Once it finally had 3 to 4 candle closures above the daily 10, good to go. That is when you can be more confident in general that Verasity is recovered and it's going to be okay. And again, it's sometimes once it closes a couple candles, it really does start moving. However, look at the attempts. Look below the red line, first chance getting above didn't work. Second chance getting above didn't work. Third chance getting above didn't work. Are you seeing a pattern? When it gets above its 10 EMA, it typically doesn't work out the first few times. On the fourth try, you didn't have much, lack of volatility here, but you got 3 candle closures. And at that type of point, which might be exactly what happens again, Verasity is a very volatile asset. It'll probably just take off. But once you get 3 green candles above, now you can, at that point, you could feel more confident that it's going to stay above. So you would say to yourself, okay, it's below the red. First attempt didn't work. Second attempt didn't work. Third attempt didn't work. But now you have to reset the count. It had a second dip. So kind of like altcoins. So sorry to mention BPRO twice on this video. This is a Verasity video, but for reference sake, BPRO corrected before Bitcoin corrected in Wyckoff. So it corrected 75%, right? So first correction, and then Wyckoff happened, then it tanked again. It got a double correction. So that's what's happened with Verasity. So don't lose hope on this asset just because it's gone down more than you thought. It got a double correction, and it's just because it started having a healthy correction right before Bitcoin had a big ass correction, and that is just part of it. That happens in crypto. That's why if you see Bitcoin being weak as your coin is correcting, so note to future self, note this for yourself. If my coin is having a natural correction, but Bitcoin's looking weak at the same time, and we're already like halfway through a normal healthy correction, if Bitcoin falls, it's going to get a double correction, and that's exactly what happened. So you have to reset the count. So it's probably going to have one attempt, doesn't get above. Second attempt to get above, fails. Third attempt, maybe. Fourth attempt, even more likely. So that is what signs you're going to have for Verasity. So if you want to learn how to buy dips a little bit better, you might want to check out this video here. And if you're newer to crypto and you don't know how to set up a chart and you want it to look like mine and know a little bit more about crypto price action and how it moves, go ahead and check out this video here. It's free content for you. Go check it out if you're new, and if you haven't subscribed, hit the circle that is about right here, and y'all just got Timified.